What if everything you believed about love, trust, and connection was a carefully constructed lie? What if the person closest to you was slowly, deliberately dismantling your sense of self, leaving you lost in a maze of doubt and fear? This isn't just a bad relationship. It's the insidious reality of emotional abuse, a silent battle fought in the quiet corners of the mind. We often look for outward signs of pain, but the deepest wounds are often invisible, etched onto the soul. Emotional abuse leaves no bruises, no broken bones, but it shatters spirits and distorts reality. It's a creeping poison, not a sudden blow. It operates in distinct phases, each one designed to strip away your identity, piece by agonizing piece. And while every stage is damaging, one stands out as the most perilous, the most destructive, the point of no return for many. Today, we're going to expose the 5 stages of emotional abuse, and I'm going to tell you exactly why the 4th stage is the most dangerous, and why understanding it could be the key to your survival. Pay close attention, because this isn't just theory, it's a guide to recognizing and escaping a psychological prison. Stage 1, the seduction, the illusion of perfection. This is where the trap is set, meticulously, almost artfully. It doesn't begin with insults or put-downs. It begins with a charm offensive so potent, so overwhelming, it feels like a dream come true. The abuser, in this initial phase, is your ideal partner, friend, or family member. They are attentive, charismatic, seemingly obsessed with you. They listen intently to your deepest desires and fears, not to understand you, but to gather intel. They shower you with praise, gifts, and declarations of intense affection. You're made to feel special, seen, utterly adored. Think about it. Who wouldn't be drawn to someone who seems to complete them? They mirror your interests, validate your beliefs, and make you feel like the most important person in their world. This isn't genuine connection. It's calculated mirroring. They are studying you, learning your vulnerabilities, identifying your emotional hunger, and then offering themselves as the perfect fulfillment of those needs. They isolate you subtly, perhaps by monopolizing your time or gently critiquing your other relationships, making you believe they are the only one who truly understands you. They might say things like, "No one gets you like I do," or "Your friends just don't appreciate how special you are." This stage is designed to build an unbreakable bond of trust and dependency, to make you believe that this person is your safe harbor, your everything. This is the honeymoon period, but it's a honeymoon built on quicksand. You're falling in love with a carefully constructed facade, a mask that will eventually slip to reveal something far more sinister. The deeper you fall, the harder the eventual crash. Stage 2, the devaluation, the cracks in the facade. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the mask begins to crack. The adoration starts to curdle into criticism. The compliments are replaced with subtle jabs, disguised as jokes or helpful observations. "You're so sensitive," they might say. Or, "You're overreacting." They begin to chip away at your self-esteem, not with a sledgehammer, but with a tiny, relentless chisel. They'll criticize your appearance, your intelligence, your opinions, your friends, your family, anything that defines you. The goal is to undermine your confidence, to make you question your own worth. What was once charming now feels controlling. Their concern for you becomes a demand for your time and attention. They might invalidate your feelings, tell you that your perception is wrong, or gaslight you into believing you're imagining things. You start to walk on eggshells, constantly trying to anticipate their moods, to avoid their disapproval. You find yourself apologizing for things you haven't even done, just to keep the peace. This stage is confusing because the abuser will often intersperse the criticism with moments of tenderness, just enough to keep you hooked, to make you believe that the good person is still there, just temporarily misplaced. This is the push and pull, the intermittent reinforcement that creates a powerful addiction. You're desperately trying to get back to the person from stage 1, the one who adored you. And you're convinced that if you just try harder, if you just change enough, they'll return. But they won't. They're deliberately creating chaos to keep you off balance. This is the point where you start to doubt your own sanity, your own memories, your own reality. Stage 3, the control, the invisible chains. As your self-esteem crumbles, the abuser tightens their grip. This stage is characterized by overt control, though it might still be cloaked in concern or love. They dictate your choices, who you can see, where you can go, what you can wear, how you spend your money, even what you can think or feel. They isolate you further. cutting off your support systems, your friends, your family, your hobbies. They might intercept your calls, check your messages, or track your movements. They become the sole gatekeeper of your information and your emotional well-being. Financial abuse often begins here, with them controlling your access to money or making you financially dependent. They might sabotage your work, your education, or your opportunities, ensuring you have no escape route. The constant criticism and devaluation of stage 2 intensifies, becoming more direct and relentless. They may actively sabotage your plans, undermine your achievements, or publicly humiliate you. You feel like you're constantly being monitored, judged, and found wanting. They've managed to create a world where they are the center, and you exist only to serve their needs. Your identity begins to blur, then fade. You are no longer an individual, but an extension of their will. You are bound by invisible chains, and the weight of them is crushing. The silence of your own voice becomes deafening. Stage 4, the degradation and despair, the soul's implosion. This is the abyss, the absolute rock bottom. If the previous stages were about chipping away at your self-worth, this stage is about completely demolishing it. The abuser no longer bothers with subtle jabs or veiled criticisms. They unleash a torrent of blatant insults, public humiliation, and psychological torment. They actively try to break your spirit, to make you believe you are worthless, unlovable, and utterly alone. This is where the gaslighting becomes extreme, where they actively rewrite your history, deny your experiences, and make you doubt your own sanity to such an extent that you begin to believe their distorted version of reality. They might engage in smear campaigns, telling lies about you to your friends, family, or colleagues, isolating you completely. They might threaten you, verbally abuse you with shocking cruelty, or even engage in petty acts of sabotage to further destabilize you. Your emotions are weaponized against you. If you cry, you're weak. If you get angry, you're crazy. If you try to leave, they might threaten self-harm, harm to your loved ones, or destroy your possessions. Hope begins to extinguish. You are no longer just walking on eggshells. You are living in a minefield. You feel completely powerless, stripped of your identity, your dignity, and your will to fight. Why is this the most dangerous stage? Because at this point, victims often feel so utterly broken, so trapped, so devoid of self-worth that escape seems impossible. The constant psychological torture can lead to severe depression, anxiety disorders, PTSD. Your mind, once a sanctuary, becomes a prison. You start to internalize their cruel words, believing them to be true. You believe you deserve this, that no one else would ever want you, that there is no way out. This is where the silent suffering becomes a scream, a silent one that no one else can hear. This is where lives are not just damaged, but destroyed from within. The spirit withers and the fight drains from your very bones. Stage 5, the cycle, the illusion of hope and repetition. After the intense degradation of stage 4, there's often a deceptive calm. This is the hoovering stage, where the abuser, sensing your complete brokenness or a flicker of an attempt to escape, pulls you back in. They might suddenly revert to the charm of stage 1, showering you with apologies, promises of change, and declarations of love. They might even blame their behavior on stress, past trauma, or external factors, making you feel sorry for them. This creates a powerful addiction to the cycle. You, desperate for the return of the person you fell in love with, cling to these moments of remorse and hope. You tell yourself, see, they do love me. They just have a lot going on. But this reprieve is always temporary. It's a strategic move to reestablish control and keep you from leaving. Once they've reeled you back in, once they've confirmed their power over you, the cycle inevitably repeats. The devaluation, control, and degradation will begin again, often with greater intensity and frequency. Each cycle erodes a little more of your spirit, making it harder and harder to break free. The hope they offer is a cruel mirage, designed to keep you tethered to their dysfunction. It's a vicious loop, where the brief moments of love are just enough to fuel the illusion that things might get better, even as they steadily get worse. This is why breaking free is so incredibly challenging. You're fighting not just against an external force, but against the deeply ingrained hope that keeps you trapped. Understanding these stages is the first, crucial step toward breaking free. If you recognize yourself or someone you care about in any of these stages, please know that you are not alone, and it is not your fault. There is help, there is hope, and there is a way out. Your story doesn't have to end in despair. Reclaiming your life begins with acknowledging the truth of your situation and reaching out for support. Remember, the invisible chains are the hardest to see, but they are also the ones you have the power to break. If this video resonated with you, if it shed light on something you've experienced or witnessed, please take a moment to like this video. Your likes help us reach more people who might be silently suffering and need this information. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content that aims to empower and inform. What stage resonated with you the most, and why? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience could be the lifeline someone else needs. Before you go, if you haven't seen my last video, 5 questions liars always ask, I highly recommend checking it out next. It's another powerful tool for understanding deceptive behaviors. Thank you for watching.